This bhajan is by Uddhava Das, and the name of this bhajan is Julata Yatra Gita. Julato Shyama Gauri Bama Anandarange Matiya Ishataha Sitarasha Rabhasa Skeli Julato Sabasa Kini Meli Gao to koto batia. He mamani yuta bara hidora. Rachita kusuma ganda bhora. Poroto brahmara matia. Navina lataya chodiya dala. Vrinda vipine shobita balo chanda ujaro ratiya navagana tanu dolaya shyama rai sange julato bhama Dadite jadita katiya Taramani Chandrahara Julito Dolato Gale Dohara Hilanadu Ukagatiya Vidhi Koto Diya Tataya Bola Bhaje Mridanga Mohana Rola Tina na tina na tatiya Veda pavana grama pura Gora sabada jila sura Varanana iko jatiya Mani abarana kinkini banka Jula ne bajaye junara janka jana 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 jatiya Radha Mohana charane asha Kevala bharasa uddhava dasa Rachita purito chatiya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Translation. Shyama swings with Gauri on his left, intoxicated by Julana's Anandarasa. Yet, with their silver like smiles, they arouse the mood of Ananga Keli, Radha's Sanginis push the hindola and sing, displaying Madhura gestures. The Hema Mani Hindola is decorated with fragrant flowers that allure hordes of bees. Shyama appears like a cloud, and Rai Rangini is like the brilliant lightning embracing his left side. Radha Shyama wear Chandrahara, moon necklaces, and Taramani, star jewels, and toss as their bodies clasp together. The Mohana Mridangas play Bidhi, Bidhik Adiya, and Tinana, Tinana na Tiya. The gopis' high-pitched singing traverses the sky to fill the surrounding areas. It is simply indescribable. Yet their ornaments and kinkini malas tingle as the Junara large kartalas resound. Jhana, 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 jati ja. Thus, overwhelmed, Uddhavadasa takes shelter at Sri Radha Mohana's lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this bhajan on this wonderful day of starting of Julan Yatra and Ekadashi. So let's all meditate on this wonderful pastime of the Lord, where Srimati Radharani and Krishna are swinging on this wonderful Julan during this festival, and everybody is swinging them, and they are so very well decorated. Let's take shelter of their lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Now let's wait for the wonderful class by Brahma
Hare Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Dandapanam. Sorry, Prabhuji. Prabhuji is little tired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Prabhuji, you can continue. Neil Govind Prabhuji said he'll join in 10 minutes or so.
Oh,
So you can at least, tell more about this bhajan or, whatever you feel. Right, Prabhuji? Sorry, Prabhuji.
oh, no problem, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. Hope Prabhuji is doing better. Hopefully, the rest will help. Uh, Today is the wonderful Tithi of Ekadashi, and from today is the wonderful festival of Julan Yatra. And this festival goes on for a few days until Balram Purnima, that is coming on Thursday. So for the next few days, we can meditate on this wonderful pastime. If all of us have a nice swing with deities, we can decorate it and attach a little thread to it and swing the Lord and Srimati Radharani for celebrating this festival, and also invite all devotees to come and pull the swing. And if we don't have it at home, we can go to any ISKCON temple which will have this wonderful festival. So we can do the service of swinging their lordships and being an instrument for their wonderful pleasure, because this is the time they are engaged in this wonderful pastime of Julan Yatra. And we know the the lordships are served by the Ashtasakis, and this is the time they are spending together in a wonderful kunja in Vrindavan, and we can meditate on this wonderful festival in the holy dham of Vrindavan, where every dust is a Chintamani jewel, and every dust is more worthy than any material possession anybody can have, because it is the spiritual dham. It is the Bhomya Vrindavan. It is the representation of the Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. So we can pray to the Lord that we we are engaged in service, so that one day we can also be in the holy dham and serve their lordships by serving the servant of the servant of the servant. Their lordships are served best by the Ashtasakis and the gopis, and we can serve our spiritual master, who is serving the wonderful gopis and Radharani in the holy dham. So we, even though we are many levels removed from the Supreme Lord, serving our spiritual master and our superiors are dovetailed directly to the Supreme Lord, because as we serve our acharyas and um, pure devotees who are serving the Lord, we are indirectly serving them, because everybody wants to serve the Lord, and serving the servant of the servant of the servant is what is sustaining the service. And no service is should be looked down upon. Any menial service or any service we can do to please Guru and Krishna is dovetailed to the Lord. And the Lord really appreciates it. And that's how the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are different from the Sahajiyas, who are always wanting to serve the Lordship directly. We are very fortunate to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and have the right understanding that we have to serve in the more mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Even our spiritual master, who has hundreds and thousands of devotee disciples, we cannot serve our spiritual master directly because he is very busy. So serving his representative in our life, our Shiksha Guru, is serving our spiritual master, our Diksha Guru. So we have to have this relationship with our spiritual master so that we can take instructions and serve him with the best of our ability. And this service is ultimately benefiting the Supreme Lord and Srimati Radharani, because we are helping to sustain this wonderful disciplic succession and the network of devotees. By doing our small part, we are pleasing the Lord and Guru. And if we are able to please the Lord, there's no better benefit, and the process and the destination is actually the same. Usually in this material world, everybody's doing activities to get the fruits of their labor. Everybody is thinking, what is in it for me? But in spiritual life, service is the topmost, and everybody serving is is bringing them the greatest satisfaction and happiness. The little service we do, even though we initially we take it as a hardship. Oh, you have to clean the floors, you have to cut the vegetables, you have to clean the temple kitchen or the temple bathrooms. All of this, we initially think, oh, this is such a hardship. Oh, why can't somebody else do it? But the little things, menial services we do, and the Lord consider this as mighty as a service done by stalwart devotees. And an example is in Ramayana, we have heard the story of how a little squirrel was taking the sand out of the beach and smearing itself with sand, and then going to the bridge and putting the sand on the bridge, helping build the bridge. And the Lord was so happy with this small service. It was so insignificant, but the Lord was so pleased with this little squirrel. He lifted the squirrel and stroked the squirrel, and uh, uh, and the squirrel got the greatest benediction. And Hanuman, who was lifting big boulders and building the bridge, he was thinking, what an insignificant service this squirrel is doing. It's trying to get some sand. How many years it'll take to build a bridge if we leave it to the squirrel. But then the Lord said he values the service of the squirrel similar to the service of Hanuman. So this is a great inspiration. Whatever capacity we have, yeah, if we are able to serve the Lord is very pleased. So so we, this is wonderful inspiration for us all to serve in our little capacity as aspiring devotees of the Lord. We if we take up some small service, the Lord is very pleased. And even though we can be in the in the direct association with Srimati Radharani and Krishna and the Ashtasakis, we can do our part, and they will definitely shower their mercy upon us. And we know in Tulsi Arati, every day we ask for service of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And a great devotee like Tulsi Maharani can give us the adhikar for doing the service. So we have to approach the Lord by approaching the pure devotees in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. And hence we pray to the wonderful devotee Srimati Tulsi Maharani every day, and especially on Ekadashi day. It is it is recommended to worship this wonderful devotee of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, who is in the holy dham of Vrindavan every day preparing to serve the Lord and draw service from all the devotees. Srimati Tulsi Maharani and Purnamasi Yogamaya, potency of the Lord, is who is arranging all the wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. Tulsi Maharani has many parrots she sends as messengers to go all over the holy dham and arrange for the meeting of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, because it is very secretive, and Srimati Radharani has many obstacles to come and meet the Lord, just to increase the suspense and the mystery of the pastime and make it sweeter. There in her home, her sister-in-law Kutila and her mother-in-law Jatila don't allow her to come out of the house. But all the devotees of the Lord are arranging such that Srimati Radharani can go out for her Surya Puja in the Yamuna, or when she has to work as a cowherd maiden, carrying the wonderful butter to the marketplace. All these arrangements are made so that the Lord can meet Srimati Radharani, and they can spend time in a wonderful kunja and have wonderful pastimes that we can all meditate on. So there are so many tax collector pastimes, boat pastimes, and and today, most importantly, we should meditate on the Julan pastimes, where Srimati Radharani and Krishna are so well decorated in a beautiful swing, which is also so decorated, and whatever paraphernalia the Lord and Srimati Radharani uses becomes as worshipable as themselves. So just like in Damodar Leela, we pray to the rope that binds Krishna. We can pray to this swing where the lordships are sitting together and enjoying this wonderful pastime. And all the sakis are engaged um, in 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 pulling the swing and worshiping their lordships with chamara whisks and and wonderful peacock feathers. made into a fan, and they also smear their lordship's body with nice sandalwood paste. And we can think about a wonderful arati that's conducted on the Supreme Lord and Srimati Radharani sitting on the swing. And nice arati songs are sung, and wonderful worship items. Of first, we use the incense to make to serve their lordships with air. So all the five elements are used in the service of the Lord. So that's why initially we take the incense, and we do arati of the Lord. So with all the material elements, we are serving the Lord, because anything we use in the service of the Lord becomes spiritual activity. That's what we are learning in Bhagavad Gita now, that we should not be fruitive workers, but we should use everything in the service of the Lord just to please them and not attach to the results. And as long as we do the endeavor, the Lord is pleased, just like we see in the pastime of the squirrel. And even Jatayu, who was just wanting to serve the Lord, even though he knew that his service would be inconsequential, even for a moment, if he was able to stop Ravana from abducting Mother Sita, that was his service. He knew Ravana was thousands of times more powerful than him, but he had to do his part. So he lost both his wings and got smeared in a puddle of blood during his service. So even though the result of the service was not something favorable, the Lord rewarded him with the greatest benediction of being able to lie lie on the lap of the Lord when he passed away from his body. And this benediction, even the Lord's father Dasharat couldn't get. So Jatayu was able to get this great benediction because he was willing to serve the Lord without any attachment to the results. And all he wanted was to try his best for the Lord. So we can all take inspiration from these wonderful devotees. And even though we are not pure devotees, we are all just aspiring in our little way. We can serve the Lord. Thank you so much. It looks like Nilagovind Prabhuji has joined. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Welcome. Please lead us with your wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pungam nangayate girim. Atkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I had to join in the last minute. I just want to see if anyone has any questions. Any questions based on our discussion, or any general questions also you can ask. We'll try to discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All praise to Shri. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much, Prabhuji, for uh, even though you had very short time. Thank you for accepting and giving Krishna Katha every day as well. Prabhuji, my question is, as Vamshilas Prabhuji sang wonderful bhajan, we mentioned that from today Julan Yatra will start, and of course, like almost all the Chaturmas, we have a lot of festivals, celebrations, and all. So how should we take this seriously? uh, of course, we have to take it seriously every time, but especially uh, we are getting special mercy. So how should we intensify our bhakti? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Actually, bhakti is it's a very personal process. If you actually see closely our the lives of our acharyas, the way how they have taken the process, it's a very intimate process, very intimate connection. When you see the Brijavasis, when they had difficulty, they're going to Krishna. That means there's a problem. What are they doing? They're not trying to address the problem. They're trying to depend on the problem. So this dependency, especially during the problems, intensifies one's devotion. Actually, the faith will be enhanced. For example, you're very sleepy. This is a normal example. You're very sleepy, but you have to finish your rounds. If you don't, if you sleep now, you cannot finish the rounds. There are two options in that. Either I sleep or I chant my rounds. What is best? We have to decide that. Because Krishna is also available when we wake up. Krishna is also available when we are trying to really extend ourselves. Is available in both the situations. So, what should be our mood in accepting or rejecting certain things depends on why we are accepting and why we are rejecting it. So, the seriousness in bhakti, no doubt, Chaturmasa, festivals, Jhalan Yatra, Balram Purnima is coming, Janmashtami, Prabhupada appearance day, Radhashtami. They come every year. But what I should change from my end is what is very important. If you actually closely observe, Dhruva Maharaj, why did he went to the forest? Because he had a problem. And what he wants to do with the problem? He wants to correct that problem then and there itself. He's not ignoring the problem, nor he is postponing the problem. Krishna consciousness is for those personalities who are not ignoring, neither they are postponing. If you actually see that, I was just discussing about that with the children in the afternoon, where why he went to the forest, or matter of fact, why Arjuna went to Krishna. Why is he submitting himself? Why is he surrendering? Or why Dhrumaraj is actually asking every living entity who goes to the whom he is meeting in the forest. He would ask a deer, he would ask every living entity. His only intention is to get that person. No, no doubt he has an intention behind it. He has a reason for that. He wants to get a big dynasty. But if you see the appreciation which we should do continuously to these personalities is the way how they are devoted to that. It's not an easy, not an ordinary thing. Even after meeting Nardamani, Nardamani tells him, you could have left this, you could have gone somewhere else. But Nardamani did not do that. Dhruva Maharaj did not do that. I'm sorry, Dhruva Maharaj did not do that. Nardamani was testing him in so many ways, but he was not shaking up. Oh, this kind of attitude we have to develop. For this, we should have deep relationship, especially with our teachers, our Shiksha Guru, our Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, with the Lord. So when we have this kind of relationship with this personality, what happens is you get connected to the process very quickly. Because what you are doing is, for this simplicity is required. If you see Dhruva Maharaj is very simple. It's a very simple-hearted person. No doubt, you might say that you went for a material desire. But if you see his heart is very simple. Even that desire which he expressed, that came through simplicity only. He is not trying to put anyone down. He wanted to get a higher kingdom. For that, he is ready to approach any person. Even from a material perspective, if you are approaching the Lord, that's what Prabhupada actually tells. One time Swamiji was being met with some personalities. And then those people were asking Srila Prabhupada, can you tell something about your philosophy? Then Prabhupada immediately told, you are that kind of a person where you understand but you don't do anything. Wow. When we actually think about this, why certain people they ask but they don't do? So many reasons behind it. They feel insecure or they're just trying to look. They're not serious because they're expecting some happiness through material world. They're expecting some profit, gain, adoration, some respect. So many things in this world. So likewise the devotees, when this attitude is there in one's life, what really happens is he can never focus on any aspect. Prabhupada immediately said, you have to stick to one aspect. Stick to some person. Get connected. Stick. Let's say if you want to practice Christianity, go practice Christianity. You want to practice something else, go practice that. Put full focus on that. Just like Dhruva Maharaj kept full focus. He wants to achieve that. He wants to see the Lord because he wants to see the Lord and then asks this question. Those are the only two things which are running in his heart. That means what is his is fully focused on that. This exact focus should come to us. For this we have to pray. That means if you actually see, he came to that position because he had a problem. Right? Let's say Suniti was accepting. Let's say Suniti was agreeing to everything. Oh, okay, Dhruva, you came beautiful, my child. I love you too. You're more than I love like my son, Uttama. You're also like my son, Uttama. Come, sit on the lap of the father. When she accommodated Dhruva like that, do you think Dhruva would have gone to the forest? No. This is the exact reason why this material world is Dukhalaya Shashvatam. Because Lord is giving problems, that's good, because through that problems we get connected to Him more. If there are no problems here, we will not get connected to this process, dear devotees. I know so many devotees who actually genuinely are connected, who are really taking shelter, they have gone through deep, deep problems in their life. That's why they are connected. Because if life is giving us fruits, if life is giving us happy path, nobody will take Krishna consciousness. Unless until that person has practiced in his previous life. Very rare. Even that means the person has to go through difficulties and has to realize what is the solution of these difficulties. Otherwise, that sadhaka will never aspire. So, I'll tell something what is happening in our community right now. Very interesting. We have a big farm, big dham, where we have two places like that. Total, we have about 450 cows. Um, 150 here, 300 in the other farm. Wherever the 300 cows are there, the cows go to the forest for grass because our farm is next to the forest. So many hills. Now, as this year is drought, especially in this part of Andhra Pradesh, it's little difficult because this area of Ongole is little dry area. So we kind of see droughts regularly here. So this year there is no rains up until now. So the grass will not be green. So for cows it will be difficult. And not just that, cows going in the forest will be even little difficult because it is sunny. Too much, too hot, not sunny, too hot. So what's happening is the community, the head of the community, our spiritual teacher, they're all chanting all day today. From morning 9 to evening 5. So that through the chanting, rain comes. This happened like this before they chanted, rain came. They're doing it again. Why? The desire is a selfless desire. Through selfless desire, if you pray to the Lord, Supreme Almighty, just like Brijavasis prayed to the Lord for help when they had difficulties. So Krishna lifted Govardhan hill. So we are going through difficulties right now. If the water is not there, the grass is difficult. Obviously, we will get the grass from outside. That's not the solution. Have to depend. So through that dependency, what is happening? You take more shelter. So devotees are chanting. They're chanting now. And then I see it's already cloudy. Changed. So it works, dear devotees. What works is Krishna consciousness works. The only thing is selflessness. If I have selfish motives and then practice the process will be difficult. So what is the seriousness which we need to cultivate? Cultivate selflessness. This is what exactly happened to Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, through the association of Narada Muni, he took the process very seriously. No doubt he had that, the desire is different. But the moment he saw the Lord, see the intensity of the power of association, power of Narada Muni's association, power of the Lord's association. They're all part of internal energy. Through the Lord's association, what is happening? Transformed. Heart got transformed, and he said, my dear Lord, don't need anything else. I just want you. You means you. I don't want anything else. So this kind of attitude one should actually strive to develop. So yesterday also a couple of hours we chanted. The chanting was so intense. Every devotee was chanting intensely because the rain should come. Now I realized one thing yesterday after the chanting process. What is that is? Life after life, we have done so much for ourselves. Not this life. I mean life after life. We don't know how many lifetimes also. Lifetime after lifetime, we have done so much to ourselves. This human form of life should be used for them, for the pleasure of the spiritual master, for the pleasure of the acharyas. For their, this body should be used for their service. This body is meant for them, for the pleasure of the Lord. Let us use this because the intensity of chanting, the desire is for a selfless service. When everyone is coming together as a unity, as a group, and then chanting for that one purpose, one can actually invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through that holy name. Because dear devotee, what happens is holy names begin to work in a different way when one chants the holy name on a selfless level. It's a different ball game. And whoever does it, they get that experience for sure. There is no doubt about it. That means if there is a problem, still you're not seeing that problem as yours, but you're seeing that problem on a selfish, not a selfish. For example, really you have a health issue. Depend and continue the process. You have health issue, you have problems, depend and continue. I remember one time a spiritual master, he had like 103 fever, 102, 103, very severe fever, very difficult. And he came from his room and then we all chanted together. It was a festival. He came from his room. Then he chanted with us for 2, 3 hours. Why? Why this has to be done is, dear devotees, a leader is that kind of a person who stands behind and then walks whoever is under their guidance and shelter. He walks them. He ensures that they are working properly. So through their association, what happens is one gets conviction in the process. Again, repeat. If a service is being done on a selfless level, dear devotees, no motive, no personal agenda, simply trying to please them. If that service is done at that level, that begins through working for Krishna. It's a basic step, a first step. Karma Yoga is the first step towards bhakti. Working in those lines, simply working for the pleasure of the Lord. Chanting, you chant for the pleasure of the Lord. You're reading, read for the pleasure of the spiritual master and the Lord. Do it for them. When we do in this way, just like how Dhruva Maharaj actually did, because his intention, his desire was different. But the only problem in the Kali Yuga, what is the big, greatest problem? We don't have these strong desires. Now, when Bali Maharaj was in that state, don't you think that Bali Maharaj will have some desires to? Don't you think Bali Maharaj will have concepts to actually enhance his kingdom? He will definitely have because he's a king. A so-called prime minister, so-called chief minister of a state, they have plans for the next 5 years. Don't you think this person will have plans for the next some time? They have. Then all of a sudden, Vamandev comes and then he says, "You give me 3 foot of land, 3 steps of land." And then at that point of time, he's telling, "I'm ready to give." Now at that moment, Shukracharya will come and know he's a supreme personality God. If you accept, he'll take away everything. Now at that moment, doesn't he remember his desires? At that moment, doesn't he remember his family? At that moment, doesn't he remember the wealth and all the other things which he has? No, these personalities are not remembering at those point these things and then taking full shelter and submitting themselves. What is that indicating? That means all through that life, all the desires, whatever they have, it's for the pleasure of the Lord. It's nothing for them. You see, Parikshit Maharaj also. If Parikshit Maharaj was attached to anything in this world, he wouldn't have accepted that curse. Please understand. This is the whole point. We go to the doctors. Actually, there's no need to go to doctors. If Krishna wants to protect, he'll protect. But we don't have that faith. That's why we go to the doctors. Now, if you lead a very simple life, dear, what is eat once or too little, huh? Other time take some fruits, some little milk in the night. You don't have to go to doctor only. You don't have to go. You'll be very happy for the next 40, 50 years if you follow this. Don't eat sugars. Be simple. Lead a simple life. When we don't do, when we don't feed too much to this body, what happens is the body will get that strength to combat so many things. That's an example. Are the body reacts in a better way when you're treating the body nicely. Do you think that when we are really absorbed in the consciousness, don't you think that the holiness will treat you nicely? It will. It will treat us nicely. Prabhupada, when in 1974, when there are droughts in Hyderabad, Prabhupada actually came and then chanted, and then rain came. And then all of them were so pleased that they wanted to open up a temple there. This is sadhu, it's Jana magic. So it works, dear devotees. Why the process is working? Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam, Pavitram Idamuttamam. Pratyaksha Gavam, Susukam Kartumam. The process of Krishna consciousness genuinely works. All we need to do is we need to put faith on that. It's not easy, dear devotees. But when you put faith, apply, you also get reflections, realizations. To become pure devotee, what is the only thing which is stopping is our own things, our own anarthas. Actually, purity, one should strive. That's what actually Prabhupada said. Prabhupada said this mission is to make pure devotees. His mission, he writes in the preface, if at least one pure devotee should come. That is his mission. So he has established this organization to make everyone pure devotees. At least one, because with that one devotee, many other devotees will get benefited. Very, very important. So this is what we need to aspire for. Our life should be meant for that. If we are not selfless, then the ball game is different. Krishna consciousness will be seen as a different state. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Selflessness. So it's not just in the name or in the dress. No, no, no. It should be in the consciousness. Selfless. Let me serve them. Let me give my best. Let me read a simple. I don't want money. I don't want Dana Jana Sundari. No, no, no. Whatever little is there, that's for my maintenance only. That little is enough for maintaining the family or the body or no matter whatever it is. Don't think too much about the future. We don't know whether we will be here tomorrow or not. Krishna is already destined as what was supposed to happen. So we don't have to think too much. We don't have to dwell too much. We just have to do our duties. But the problem is we do our duties, but those duties are for us. That is another problem. Those duties have to be done for the pleasure of the Lord. Yajnatat karmana yatra lokam karma vandana. If the duties are not done for them, then that is also not giving us satisfaction. Actually, who the Lakshmi which is given to the Lord, one should actually know this belongs to them. It's not mine. I remember a spiritual master telling, if you are not convinced to give Lakshmi, don't give. Because we are not setting up this organization so that people will gain some punya. No doubt. We'll give some Lakshmi, he'll get some punya. Punya he'll get pro. Bhakti means again he has to take shelter of a pure soul. He has to surrender. Otherwise, bhakti will not come, for sure. No matter where you go, this is what exactly they done. I remember one time Radhanath Swami Maharaj was being asked this question, Maharaj, what should I do to become pure devotee? What should I do to practice pure devotee? You take shelter of a pure devotee, surrender unto him, and then follow his instruction, become pure devotee. That's it. So this life is to find that devotee. Submit. If you are not submitting, then the solution will not come. Very, very important because festivals will come and go. I'll tell again. Festivals will come and go. We've been seeing festivals since years. You should ask this question: when will transformation happen in the heart? Because Arjuna submitted. Because Arjuna it's not a fake process, dear what is. It's not a fake process. I always think about this. "Arey, is there any back road for this? No, there is no back road. Is there any back road? Just like there's like some section of people, they take the back road. What is that back road? Fake certificates. They go to US, they get settled also. They become millionaires. Just they went to US through fake certificates. Is that somehow Krishna consciousness? Is there a back road for that? Back route is this surrender. Front route is what? Front route is also surrender. That's what exactly Arjuna did. Shishyasthayam sadhimantam prapannam. I always think about this. If Shishyasthayam sadhimantam prapannam is not coming, then they think that one can understand Krishna consciousness? Never. Because Krishna again confirms in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, Raja Vidya Raja Guyam, Pavitram idam uttam. Raja Vidya, this is Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. That means it's Guyam. It's transcendental, it's kingly knowledge, but it is Guyam, it's hidden. Pratyakshāgamam susukam kartum. Only those personalities, pranipatena pariprashana, upadekshanti te gnana gnanina tattva darshana, because they have seen the truth. They have seen, they have analyzed the truth. They have realized the truth. Only that realized soul can impart the knowledge to the other. Now that conviction, one should come, should gain that conviction. Very, very important. We should aspire for prayer. We should pray for that. My dear Lord, please play. Please give me an opportunity so that I can take full shelter. Because if I don't take full shelter, then, for example, we're going on the way back home, back to Godhead. Like Swargaloka will come. There are beautiful damsels. Then we stop there immediately. If we have little attachment to the opposite sex, we just stop there. As a whole point, there is a very scientific process. Why our acharyas tell that don't engage in sense gratification? It's important. One should act. One should be fearful for this sense gratification. Very, very important. Oh, this understanding we should develop. Hare Krishna. I want to address the question in that way, Prabhu. Is that okay? Subal Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else would like to? Any other questions? Any reflections? Because again, I said time is running. Time doesn't stay. That's another important aspect. Because time is not looking whether my consciousness is changed or not. Time is always going, it's flying. That's also another difficult state. We should always look into these things. Should always check and balance, move forward according to that. It's very important, dear devotees, because One time I asked my spiritual master about this question. I see so many people get connected to the process. And then when I go into YouTube, some devotees have like so many followers, 20,000, 30,000. Then I ask, do you think that all of these personalities will understand what Krishna consciousness is, and then there's a chance for them to come back to Godhead? Then he told one simple statement. He said, do you think that all those 30,000 followers or 50,000, whatever it is, you think that all of them have a relationship with a Vaishnava? You think all of them will have a relationship with Srila Prabhupada? I said, I don't know. He said, they will not. Why they will not have is because there is no service factor behind it. Because relationship intensifies through the process, through service. Through service, which they are telling us. Why? Because yes, everyone's nature is different and everyone's mentality is different. Everyone's seeing things is different. For example, one person's difficulty is not the other person's difficulty. For example, a physical handicapped person, for he to get up, it's difficult. But if a person is normal, then for him it's easy. For the physical handicapped person, it is difficult. Same situation. He is getting up, but his situation is different. Likewise, the process of accepting Krishna consciousness is straightforward. Approach the spiritual master, serve them, inquire pranipatena, pariprashna, sevaya, approach them, inquire the truth, and then do service. Because they have imported the transcendental knowledge into our heart, now it is time to do some service. When that service structure is not established, then there's a serious trouble, which is important to think. Why? Because if these troubles are not reviewed, then there's another problem. Because if these troubles are not reviewed, we think that, Arey yaar, I don't think so, this process will work. A lot of people are dying. And I see a lot of people leaving also. That means it's not working. It's like only to some people. It's not to everyone. So the mind is always there to cheat us. Mind is always there to trick us. Mind is always there. You're seeing the deities, do you think that there are deities? Mind will always tell. So we should be very careful and vigilant in trying to understand this process. If the sadhaka is in that state, what happens is naturally get connected. Because he's thinking, I'm trying to make progress and move forward. So these aspects we have to check. Now, when there is a problem is coming, you should understand, yes, this is mercy of the Lord. I deserve far better problem than this. But Krishna is giving me only little problem. And let me accept this and then move forward and then try to analyze Krishna consciousness very nicely by following it. That's what Dhruva Maharaj did. Didn't he do that? Dhruva Maharaj did exactly that. He heard, he followed it because he is having an expectation. I would say let us have an expectation and let us see that that expectation is for the pleasure of the spiritual master and the Lord. This kind of desire, this kind of expectations will make us forward in Krishna consciousness. When Narada Muni in his previous life, he has seen the supreme personality of Godhead. After that, the Lord is not coming into his consciousness. He is absent. Then he continuously tried again and again. Then Krishna told him, you know what, I'll not come again. But my remembrance will be there with you. That's a blessing actually. Because Lord was very pleased with the devotee. So likewise, Lord, when we begin serving the spiritual master, when he is through that serving, when he is pleased, then understand that Lord is trying to repair my work. He's trying to take care of me now. Now it's time to go. Those kind of things will be manifested. Very important. How we have to understand this. Hare Krishna. Okay, dear devotees, I will stop here. Like no one has additional question. Anyhow,
Hare Krishna
it's
Prabhuji,
time.
don't pronounce
Yes,
all.
Baldev Sir Prabhu, please tell. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji, for enlightening us. Prabhuji, you just told that if we get sick,
If
we
we get
don't,
sick,
need to,
yes, yes.
we don't need to go to the doctors. We can depend on Krishna. But other side, Krishna says that কর্মনেব অধিকারস্তু মা ফলেষু কদাচিন. Going to the doctor to get better and proceed with the seva is also our duty.
Karmanyavadikarasya mapaleshu kadachin. So you're saying that going to the doctor, taking care of ourselves, our body, and then do the service, yes. Yes, definitely. That is also right. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to the doctor. If we go to the doctor, if the disease can be cured in a couple of days, that's good. But the intention over there is, even if I go to the doctor, I should understand this doctor is also given by the Lord. This is also a mercy. The doctor, his intelligence is also being given by the Lord. And this doctor is helping me, just like the Lord is helping me at every moment. So through that intention, when we go to the hospital and then take care of ourselves and then move forward and then practice Krishna consciousness nicely, it's great. But this is for whom? Who's actually working for Krishna. Definitely. Who's really working for Krishna, who's really working for the pleasure of the spiritual master, just definitely they should go. Because, but not but when we take care of this body nicely, you don't have to go to the doctor. That's another thing. And when we are fully dependent on the Lord, there's no need actually. This the sadhaka will realize if he's fully dependent on them. Eat little. Prabhupada actually says, if you eat little, you don't have to go to doctor. Actually, yesterday's statement is that in our group, I posted that message also. Prabhupada says that eat little, take care of your health nicely because health is important to serve the Lord. When you eat little, you don't have to go anywhere. That means the simple living is such a beautiful process. You don't have to eat biryani, this, that, pulao, so many things. You don't have to do that. Once in a while, it's okay. You don't have to do that. When you eat simple, sleep early, get up early, that itself is a perfection. Previously, there's no doctors, dear devotees. How many doctors were there previously? Do you think the doctors were there before 50 years back? How are they leading their life? Their life expectancy was more than us. They were living 90 years. Now you can say there is no calculations at that time, but people were happy. Their consciousness was stable. They were living 90 years. There were no diseases like Alzheimer's or all of these things were not there before. Why? They came by because advancement. Not just advancement, atyahara. Not just that, but wrong consciousness, thinking ill about others. That also keeps us ill. That's why now doctors are making you merry because that's the biggest hot business currently. Because they're using. But as per our acharyas, when we follow their words, life will become very simple. You don't have to go anywhere. You lead a simple life. You don't need any insurance. But that conviction should come. Our insurance is nursing there. But the dependency has to be there. I cannot just blanketly put a statement like that, oh, nursing there is a health insurance, or he'll take care of that. But how much I am dependent on them, how much I am putting that in action, how much I am showing myself through action. That matters. If I am showing through action, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he had cancer. He said, I'm leaving, I'm going to the spiritual world. I know I have to leave this body. He did not stay in the hospital in his last days. He was in Radha Damodar temple, close to Philadelphia, Gitanagiri. He was there. From there, he left his body. Perfect kirtana at that time. Perfect classes at that time. Coming directly from the heart. Realizations. He's crying while he's speaking. His hair is standing on the end. He's crying while he's chanting. He's intensely crying. That is a mood we have to follow. Acharana, we have to do acharana, following in the footsteps of our previous acharyas, and move forward. And that doesn't mean that if a person is going that he is not Krishna conscious. No, that's not that. That's also wrong. We don't know what his heart is. He's fully dependent. Through dependency only he's going. We don't know. So there is no hard and fast rule that I should go, I shouldn't go. Depends on our consciousness. Wherever we are, we should be Krishna conscious. But that Yukta Vairagya, it's the Srila Prabhupada mentions in Nectar of Instructions. Utilize everything for the service of the Lord. Now that has to be done after a deep conviction. Srila Prabhupada can ride big cars because he's convinced. Srila Prabhupada can sit in Rolls Royce because he sees everything equally. Do we have that vision before we jump into those things? Do we have that conviction? That is what matters. That is the important aspect. We discussed almost 1 week on this shloka. Karmanyavadikarasya maphaleshu kadachani. How karma leads to karma yoga and how karma yoga leads to bhakti. And how this bhakti has to be intensified. It's very important. No doubt, definitely, if a sadhaka is really working for Krishna, he can go to any doctor. But if the sadhaka after betterment is doing sense gratification, then he's cheating himself. It's very important. That demarcation we should understand. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for asking that.
Thank you,
Making
Guru.
sense.
Yes, Guru. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to add anything? I'm not telling not to go to the hospitals, but with what consciousness we have to go to the hospitals, we need to understand that. Very important. But if you follow the words of the acharyas, I say that you don't have to go to hospital. There's no need for you to go to hospitals. There's no need. For sure. If you just follow the words of Srila Prabhupada, you don't have to go to hospitals. Just the way how he tells, the way how he tells, if you begin eating like that, if you following his words like that, you don't have to go anywhere. I'll tell most of the problems comes on a health issue or a health wise. I noticed personally. Their devotees told me, I got ill because I had ill feeling about this devotee. You've seen. If we don't agree the other devotee, or if we don't have good attitude towards the other devotees, that means advaita. When that advaita is not manifested, when that dvesha is manifested into one's consciousness, then the health issues will come. Because what is this? What did he heard about? It's all consciousness only. The person doesn't understand. Just like Bhaktirtha Maharaj says, very beautifully says, Are you are having envy towards the other person. What is that having envy means? You are carrying red hot iron in your hand. You are throwing, before you throw the red hot iron onto the other person, your hand will burn because you are holding the red hot iron. That is exactly what envy is. That other person will be okay, but we will suffer. And then through that suffering, we get diseases. Leading a simple life is very important. And then you can say, oh, Prabhupada also had health issues. We had health issues because of others, not because of him. Because of others. praying for them, taking their karmas. Because of them, their health got spoiled. It's not because of their eating habits. It's not because of it's not because of their bad conscience. They are pure souls. It's through the prayers which they do for the other person. Very, 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 very important. These pure souls, they come for the upliftment of everyone. That's why I remember when spiritual master tells about this. You should understand who Srila Prabhupada is. Because if you understand who exactly he is, then you'll try to follow every nitty gritty details of his instructions. That is relationship actually. That is bhakti. Bhakti is a lot of people will say, what is bhakti? Bhakti is very simple. You just have to follow the words of the acharyas. That is bhakti. One line, if somebody is asking what is bhakti in one line, just follow the acharyas. That's it. That is bhakti. If a person after a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge, blindly coming to that state of point, to that consciousness, oh, that is the greatest realization in his life. Oh, following the footsteps of the acharyas is bhakti. Great. That's what exactly all these personalities did. Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj understood the words of Narada Muni. Shukracharya told him, don't accept his Vishnu. Then he remembered the words of Narada Muni, Prahlad Maharaj. He's seen his life story, he has seen his life story, how much he is completely dependent. Through that dependency, he accepted. Put your third foot on my head. Now, with that submission, Lord personally became his gatekeeper. What is this, dear devotees? Is the submission has so much power? Yes, exactly, it has so much power. Very important. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you all very much. If I spoke anything wrong, caused any inconvenience through my words, please excuse me. Hare Krishna, and thank you for the opportunity. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful class. Now we can conclude with Prem Dhwani prayers. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvijacharya Stotra Shata Abhicharana Ravinda His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvijacharya Stotra Shata His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. अनेक कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। अयोध्या धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। एकादशी तिथि की जय। झूलन यात्रा महामहोत्सव की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. नम ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुपश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, have an amazing Krishna conscious Ekadashi and Julan Yatra festival. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Praise from Shilas Prabhuji ki
All
jai.
devotees ki jai.
Prabhuji ki jai. Baldev Prabhuji, Divya Mataji, Namananda Prabhuji, Neem Prabhuji, all devotees ki jai. Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada. Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Subala Gopal Prabhuji ki jai. All devotees ki jai.
ধন্যবাদ।
Jai Sri Lanka.
Hari Bol.
Dhanyavad.